Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to make my granddaughter a ring, and I could do this by cutting the strip of out of some sheet silver and soldering it together into a band. But then I was thinking, why not use my coin ring making tools to do the same thing? So I'm going to give it a shot here. Okay, so I'm going to take the disc that I stamped out, put it in the auto punch, and then we'll take this 11/16 inch punch and screw it down. Hopefully that disc got centered. Having this thing in here complicates matters. Alright, let's see what we got. Move this over a little bit. Keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we got a centered hole. No, we didn't. Alright, we got our disc. Now I'm going to take, didn't work out so great with the 11/16 inch punch, I think, because of the way I have to put the punch down inside the cap. So I'm going to go down to a 5/8 so I can do this a little bit different. Put the disc in here. No, I can just screw the cap down without having the punch in there to mess everything up. This way I should be able to get a nice centered hole. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to abandon this project and go back to the old-fashioned way. Okay, here we go. Alright, what are we going to get here? Looks like we got almost centered this time. It's pretty close. Now let's see where this project takes us here. Alright, so I want to turn this into a flat band. So I'll just go ahead and fold it, just like I normally would. I'm not going to find one that fits, doesn't look like. Let's see, what do we got here? Maybe we just go straight to a reduction die. Yeah, that's what we'll do. The sterling silver has been so much easier than a coin. Alright, so we got a full fold here. So let's go ahead and put it on the ring stretcher. Straighten it out. Don't have to worry about details, so don't need to use paper towel. Alright, so now I need to reduce this down to around size 6. So I'll use Swedish wrap for that. And again, I don't need to worry about detail, so we'll wrap it. And I will check it frequently, make sure things are going according to plan. I will say that without the tape, it's going to be hard to get this out here, probably. Probably just want to push it right on through. to the smaller rust pusher, I think. Is this going to work? See if I can go down just a little further with this one. Oh, it's going to go on through. There we go. Alright, not looking too bad. What size do we got? We are at size 8, so we're going to have to go down to the next smaller die. Now we'll change over to this small one. Actually, I think I better wrap it or else it's going to get stuck in the die. Just put a couple of wraps on it. Should be good. Ooh. Sounded bad. I think the pusher slipped off of it. That's what happened. Didn't seem to have hurt anything though. Six and a half. A little wobbly. Turn it over this time. That looks better. Alright, so you need to straighten this up just a little bit. It's not quite flat. So you just give it a push on both sides, and you don't want to squash it. Just want to straighten it up. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now we need to stretch it just a little bit. It's at 5.5, so we just need to get it up to 6. Let's check that. Got a little bit more. There we go. All right, time for phase 2. All right, so next we'll solder this ring together. Take some flux, a little flux on it. Those pieces of solder. Alright, so let's light up the torch, the mini torch. Just about ready to melt. There we go. Put it in the pickle. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, looks like we got a pretty nice solder joint. All right, so let's file this smooth. All right. All right, so now we've got our two bands of square wire, and what we're going to do is solder them now to the band and leave this channel in the middle, and that's where we'll put our inlay. See if you can see this. All right, so next step, do the soldering. All right, so we'll cut a few snippets of medium silver solder. Okay, that should be enough. Now, take some flux. Flux it up good. Okay, that should be good. Next, I'll take the torch and just kind of heat that flux up. Okay, now take some tweezers and place these little snippets of solder actually, let's see, it'd be better to do it this way. Some flux on my pick and pick it up. There. That's kind of the hard part, is getting the solder placed. One of the hard parts anyway. Hopefully it won't go popping off when it starts getting heated up. Alright, let's see what we can do now. Got our solder placed. Hopefully it will stay there. Alright, cooperate with me now. All right. Looks like we got a pretty good solder joint there. However, we're going to need some more. Turn this upside down. Well, let me put it in the pickle. Clean it up. All right, so we want to, we don't want any seams. We want this to appear that it's a solid piece of metal. So I need to make sure that seam is fully soldered. So I can sand it down and it'll look like it's just one big piece of metal. So I put several pieces of solder on there and let's see what we can get. Try to warm this up without the solder going flying off. Okay, here we go. Heat on the inside. Pull that solder towards that joint. Okay, there we go. Looks like we're getting a pretty good flow. All right. Pickle it. Okay, so we're going to finish this up with easy solder because the other solder joints were done with hard and a medium, so we want this to, this last solder joint, we want it to melt before the others do. I should say we want this to flow before the others do. These little solder snippets can be difficult to work with. All right. Okay. Let's fire this torch up. Okay, looks like it's going to stay in place now. Okay, let's see if we get the flow. Alright, so this is what we're after. A band with a couple of channel square wires soldered to the outside edges to make a channel. And then the next step will be to crush up some peridot and fill in that channel. All right, I'll be back. All right, so we've got our soldering all done, and we have our blank. And it looks kind of like one piece of metal, doesn't it? It's been machined on a lathe. A lot more work, I guarantee you that, but if you don't have a lathe, there's no other way to do it. All right, so I'm gonna work on this for a while with some fine sandpaper and get it all nice and shiny, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we're getting there. Not too bad. It's starting to look almost like it's a machined piece of silver. So, next step will be to do the inlay. So I need to crush up some peridot now, and then we'll continue. So I just realized that peridot is a transparent, translucent stone. This is the stone we're going to use. And could be a problem I didn't think about. And I'm going to need to buff up the inside of this channel here. So hopefully any imperfections don't show through. So let's see what we can do. So that's really about all I can do, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that, but maybe it'll diffuse the light enough that you won't be able to see what's under there. All right, so it's time to start laying an inlay in this channel, and I'm going to use some Sleeping Beauty, just a natural Sleeping Beauty turquoise. I've had this for, I don't know, 10 years or so. So we'll start with some large pieces first. Just lay it in there. Whoops. There. Then we'll take some CA and just lay a drop in there. All right. Turn it over a little bit. Find another piece that will lay down in there. Well, I'll work on this and then I'll come back to you when I get a little bit more done. All right, so here's the ring with the start, the inlay. I'm going to fill there's some little voids in here and there. I'm going to fill those with silver filings. And I'm going to take this old sprue button that I have laying around. It's from casting I did a long time ago. File this and get some nice silver filings, and then I'll use that to fill in the little holes and spaces in the ring there, and it should have a pretty good effect. So we'll be back when and take a look at it later. All right, so we have a bunch of nice silver filings here. So I'm just going to take them and drop them on this ring, fill out the voids here and there. And then I'll take some CA, super glue, and put it on top. And then like I sand down, there should be like little veins of silver in the in between the pieces of turquoise. At least that's the theory anyway. So let's do it. All right, I'll just turn this. Okay, keep doing it. These will find me. Let's get it. Silver wood. Yeah, I'm gonna need to find some more. So we're gonna the button just fall down. Yeah, just file over the ring. Not have to think afterwards. It's pretty good. That's pretty good actually. Let's try it. It's nice. Yeah, who's gonna get it? I don't know. Well, this is what we've got. Doesn't look very good, does it? But it will look much better when it's finished. So let's get going and finish it up. So we need to start sanding all this down, get everything nice and get all this ground down and get rid of all this glue and everything. So let's get started. I'm going to start by taking some 1000 grit sandpaper and going over the inside. There's still a few file marks in there that need to be sanded out. So we'll get those out of there and then we'll call it done. Alright, so we got the inside of the band sanded, so now let's buff it up and shine it up and using this Zam polish. ring gets hot. So I got the inside of the band nice and polished. Let's just hit the outside one more time. Alright, so let's buff this up with the jewelry cloth, polishing cloth, and we'll be done. Alright, there we go. Let's focus in on this. Alright, as you can see, we've got a really nice polish. The turquoise really shines. Looks really good. I think my granddaughter will be pleased. Alright, thanks for hanging in there and checking out this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. And visit my website at southofwindcoinrings.com. Have a good one, guys. See you next time.